And just like that, Carrie chose herself, and we got the best episode of season 3. Dare I say, the best episode of And Just Like That in all 3 seasons. Let's get into it. Get it, don't be timid when you ain't it, love upon it, give along, need it. My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay? You guys, welcome back to the channel. You already know what it is. We are back to talk, and just like that, season 3, episode 10. Where you been hiding? Where have you been, Penny? This was the best this is all I've been wanting. This is all I've been asking for. A little self-reflection, a little personal growth, a little autonomy, you know, a little few jokes here and there. Okay, fine. And what really irks me, tweaks my melons and pisses me off, is the fact that you guys have had this ability the entire time. Now, I know some are going to say, well, you know, people, just because they reach a certain age, aren't fully actualized and aren't fully developed. And this is really a true depiction of what getting older looks like. And I say, you're of your father, the devil. I say that that's not so. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. But finally, like I said, in episode 10, we are getting somewhere. So as the episode opens up, you know, some time has passed since the events of Aiden, his demon seed, and apparently his demon D, because there had to be some sort of really, really strong soul tying connection that he had on Carrie, because that was just ridiculous. Anyway, he's out of our life, out of our hair, out of everything. And so she and Duncan have been writing together, and apparently this has been the time of their lives. She has grown immensely. He, on the other hand, has kind of been distracted because he's enraptured by the mind of Carrie Bradshaw. Imagine that. He says, I see you, I understand you, I know, and we're growing. But in this first conversation, we actually hear him say, would I still be here reading if you was with that man? Paraphrasing, right? And she's like, you know what? I really don't know. And you wouldn't have been. Aiden would have destroyed this connection. He would have destroyed your prospects and stifled your growth, right? This was about Carrie reaching a new height in her writing and her self-development. And I absolutely love that for her. And of course, we'll get into the thick of it. Steve and Miranda are having dinner, and I'm like, what's going on? Brady's cooked for them and decides that, you know what, he's going to quit the family business, the bar that he works with Steve, and he is going to go to culinary school because he's just that good. He's made them a beautiful meal, and they are there, you know, just chewing the fat until he lets it be known he's got a baby on the way and a baby mama rolling in. However, this is not somebody he's ever been with. He doesn't know this lady's last name. He says he caught her on the street and she told him what it was, but they hooked up maybe 2-3 times unprotected, and that's it. Steve went off. As you should, because he said, you don't have 2 nickels to rub together in your pocket, son. How are you going to take care of a baby? And you mean tell me you don't know, but this is your child. Steve was, I mean, to me, this is righteous rage. Now, was it a bit extreme? I mean, Brady's 20-something years old, and if y'all hadn't coddled him, maybe he would have been in a better position. But I mean, it is what it is. Read his ass. He really needs to get it together. School only may not work right now if you're going to have to provide support for a baby. Again, he's saying baby mama to be doesn't necessarily want him in the life. You know, she just wanted to let him know because she couldn't really hide it. She's very, very pregnant. And so, again, he had seen her in passing. And Miranda's like, well, she must sleep with a lot of people. How do you know it's yours? Miranda, God, the further you step away from being, I guess, who they thought you were supposed to be, the more you turn into somebody else. And I don't like it, Miranda. Miranda, honestly, I just don't like Miranda. I don't like it. But yeah, Steve's not playing. And Brady, you know, storms out. He's like, you know, I don't want to be emotionally, mentally, verbally berated and maybe physically threatened, because Steve is over it. He's like, you're a failure, son, basically. And now you have another life that you're bringing into the world, our grandchild. And this gets Miranda's wheels turning. And we know, at least from And Just Like That, Miranda is a habitual line stepper. She's not cool with boundaries. She's going to overstep. And we see that play out a little bit later. The next scene we see is a 3-way phone call. Now, this is what friends do this is what I've been waiting on forever, because this was actually the first moment to me. And just like that, really felt like Sex in the City. This is a 3-person group of friends who love each other down and are there for each other in moments of crisis. And so Miranda, is like, Carrie, you on the phone? Charlotte, you on the phone? What's going on? And so she explains, I'm about to be a grandmother. Brady got somebody pregnant. They're like, what? The girls are clutching their pearls, and Charlotte's reacting how Charlotte would react. And Carrie actually has something to say. It's not that hard. We could have been doing that. Anthony, Giuseppe, and roommates, honey. Now, Anthony's tush was tooted up and booted up in the air. And I said, this is not 60-year-old booty. It was firm. It was like jiggly. It was cake. I was very confused by it all. But we find out that Giuseppe's got a roommate, this old man who's supposed to be asexual, but turns out he's a sexual deviant who gets his rocks off to a puppet he made of Giuseppe. Disgusting. Throughout the episode, they're really just kind of living in the bedroom, which they do with them. And again, I feel how I feel about that. I really would have loved if we could have delved deeper into the relationship between Giuseppe and Anthony, like a May-December relationship. I would have liked it more if I really felt the love between them. But the only scenes we get around them is around Giuseppe's peen, being verse or top bottom, whatever the situation is, or they're in some sort of bed. Like, who are y'all outside of that? I don't know. I feel like it does a disservice to their characters and to the story, but I digress. By the end of the episode, Anthony asks Giuseppe, hey, do you want to come live with me? Giuseppe, believing his roommate is asexual, goes down the hall, sees him beating his meat to the puppet he made of Giuseppe. And Giuseppe's like, fine, Anthony, I will marry you. I will go, not marry, but I will move in with you. So we kind of see that. And that was their story in a nutshell. Again, there's not much depth to it. It's very brief. Charlotte is having her Zoom with her psychic cleanse, and everything's going on in the house. She's getting the halls redone. Rocky and She Who Must Not Be Named son are practicing tap. He's trying to get her there because he says she's not ready to be in this play, this musical that's coming up. And so we have to reschedule this $40 psychic cleanse. The psychic is through with Charlotte because, girl, you want me to reschedule this $40 cleanse that you purchased in a silent auction? This is not my normal fee. What are we doing? Sema goes over to Adam's place. Adam, if it ain't a trust fund, this might as well be rent control in New York. $900 in this beautiful apartment that he has laid out completely. We find out that his mom passed when he was 20 or so from the Big C. And, she brought this plant back to life. And so his mom is this plant, right? This vine that's cascading, hanging in the kitchen. He and Sema doing what he and Sema do. They're getting bucky naked. She gets up for a smoke break, opens the window where the mama plant is, and mama goes careening out the window. She's devastated. Now she's ignoring his calls, trying to swerve him. He pops up at her well-appointed offices. All right, y'all got to do better. She got her car service back and these well-appointed offices. Anyway, he comes there and he's like, no, my mom passed of cancer. You didn't kill my mom. Because that's what I said. Sema killed your mama. But that's not what happened. He says, cancer took my mom. My mom is still here. I was able to get the scraps. And, he set him up around the office. And she says, I'll kill your mama a third time. And he says, no, that's what I'm here. I'm the garden. I'm here to tend your garden. And I'm going to be taking care of everything. I mean, it was cute, I guess. I still don't like this relationship. I don't like how his stomach protrudes as he's walking to her like sloppily. It's not sexy, but if she likes it, I love it. Okay. Sema and Carrie have dinner, and Sema wants to know, could it be more than a riding partner? Now, in this moment, Carrie doesn't go off on Sema the way she did at Miranda. It's like, he sees me. This is the first time in my life that a man has not seen me as just sexy or cute or whatever, but he's actually seen me for me. She's like, you get me. Charlotte gets me. Miranda gets me. Duncan gets me. He's the first man to actually get me. And I think that's very liberating for Carrie because she's led with her vagina. And most of these women, from what I've seen from Sex and the City to here, they've led with their vagina for so long and kind of equated some of their worth to that, right? Especially Carrie. And I love it how now she has the mindset that somebody can like her for more than just aesthetics, appearance, or her coot nanny. So good for you. She says again, no one sees her as smart at first. He sees me. And again, now Sema has a driver all of a sudden. Anyway, Miranda, the habitual line stepper, finds this pregnant woman working as a shampoo girl at a salon, requests her, goes there, gets in that lady's seat, and says, I'm the baby Grammy. That lady is farting. That lady is rude. That lady says that she was going to abort the mission, but decided not to because the baby's going to be a double Libra. So that must mean something special. And proceeds to spray Miranda with the water and tells her that she's so binary because she says, little boy or little girl, I want to be in the baby's life. Baby mama's not having it. Chunky butt farter is not having it. Did Miranda deserve it? Yes. But was the flatulence a bit much for me? The flatulence was low hanging fruit. I didn't care for that. But I liked Miranda getting hosed down because stay out of people's business, Miranda. There's a way to do everything. But that wasn't it. Duncan and Gramercy's finally coming together. He actually, he's finally invited into her inner sanctum, the closet. He gets to see her shoes, and he gets it. He's like, oh wow, I got an invitation, and this is the princess's lair, and they're beautiful, and what fabulous parties are you going to? And he actually invites her to a publishing event that night, and she's like, reluctant, how much are you going to pay me to be there? And I'll come, whatever. And I loved how when we actually see her get there, it's like she's known. It's like all the things that she's been working for, writing all this time is really paying off. She's notable and recognized in the city. I thought that was very, very cute. She who must not be named. This is why she should not be named, because why are you talking to that baby like that? I never agree with the mother-in-law, but this moment I did, because why are you talking to that baby like that? Mommy said, listen, Herbert's mama said, listen, this how you treat your children, mommy dearest? Come on, baby, come with me. We find out that the comptroller election is finally tonight and everybody's geeked up and ready to go. I'm glad we didn't harp on it long. By the end of the elevator ride, we found out he didn't get the position. His mama says, why would you run for something knowing you couldn't win, or there was a possibility you wouldn't win? He's depressed. He's not trying to hear Lisa. She's trying to, or excuse me, she who must not be named. She's trying to kind of lightweight console him. But I mean, you've been running for comptroller for 800 years. You didn't get it. I mean, move on with your life, Herbert. Like, I really don't care. I really don't care. Charlotte goes over to Carrie's for her cleanse because it's the only place that she can find, peace. And Carrie is there and she's like, you know what? Talking about Duncan, like there may actually be something. And I was really rude to Miranda. And look at me now, I'm getting defensive again, talking to you about it, and you're just listening to me. Maybe I need to reevaluate myself. This is the first time in and just like that, we've seen Carrie be like, I might need to check myself. Something else might be going on with me, all of the things. And it's like, what's this? This is Vivienne Westwood. This is what I'm thinking about wearing, but I think it might be too much. It's just Duncan. And so now she's really trying to reconcile where she's at with it. What it feels like was what Miranda said true all this time, and she just didn't recognize it or refuse to see it because Aiden was there. What's really going on? So again, by the night we get dressed, we have this really very cute publishing look going on. And she ultimately decides, why not? What am I waiting on? Why am I keeping Vivienne in the closet when she can be out on the town? She goes in, commands the room. We see Duncan, and he's actually with his ex-wife. They work together. And she's like, Carrie Bradshaw, why is she here? And he's like, she's here for me. Very cute date. I really loved it. It was about the work, and it was about friendship, and it was about all of those things. And as we're ending the night, he basically says, I got to go home. I got to focus. And I'm not coming back. This is kind of the end of an era. And even after he says that, she's like, I'm coming downstairs. I'm coming downstairs in my Vivienne, and I'm going to give you a roll in the hay. And he's like, you remember, I'm leaving. And she's like, I know, and it's fine. And listen, I like it I don't need Carrie with a man at this point. I need Carrie with Carrie, and to understand, recognize, and know who she is in her womanhood at this age. I love that she made a choice for herself, knowing that this wasn't going to be a forever situation, a relationship, or, you know, a moment where I'm going to follow him or chase him down. No, this is what it is. In the moment, I chose this. I was full of my own faculties, and I did that, and I'm good with it. I'm going to keep working on my book, and I'm going to live, and I'm going to grow. She goes to see her publisher, and her publisher's like, we need one more chapter. This is a romantic tragedy. We need some hope and some jubilance. And I think as we're seeing the episode wind down, Carrie is sitting with Carrie and finally seeing her for more than what's been projected all of this time. And I love that for her. Again, best episode of And Just Like That ever, in my opinion. And the fact that they were capable of giving us this tells me they could have given it to us before. And I'm pissy that they didn't. You guys, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, every Friday night, while it's still on, because we only have a couple more episodes. Remember, this is the end of And Just Like That. They announced that, I believe, earlier today, that the And Just Like That, ends with season 3, and it should. And it should. They have taken us down through there. It's just unfortunate that we couldn't have been getting this viewing experience the entire time. But you guys, that was it. Don't forget to join us again for And Just Like That, the live discussion with Tyra over at Struggle Reviews TV. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Covering a lot on the channel. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you for being here, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.